Hey everyone, good morning from the West Coast, near San Francisco on, what is it today, March 5th, I believe? Yeah, March 5th. And thank you for everyone joining today's live stream. In today's video, I want to talk about a couple of things dealing with motivation, the lack of motivation, and also how to kind of solve this problem that we often face in life. Um, And I've been facing a lot of motivation issues lately, so that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this topic. This is a tough one because we all face this problem, and even though we all kind of know how to deal with getting things done, oftentimes we still procrastinate to the last minute, and I still don't really know exactly why we do that. So, today's video, I'm gonna go over just a couple of topics, a couple of ideas on how to solve this problem and why we have this or why we face this issue with motivation, procrastination, and then, putting things off until the last minute. It's a tough problem. So let me kind of browse over to Twitter here. With this live stream, there's like 50 different things to do. So I'm gonna close out of Photoshop, have my Xcode up just in case I need to launch something into the simulator. And then just checking the stream here. Hopefully the video is coming through okay. I know every time you guys join the chat stream, you guys can hopefully see it. Okay, so it looks like some of you guys are joining the chat right now. And so I'm going to pop open the chat here. And we have Plucky, someone I've seen since I think the beginning of this YouTube channel, which has been a year now. It's really strange how some of you guys have been with the channel for so long. There was this comment the other day about one of my videos from January 2016. And basically the video was about UI page view controllers. And the guy was like, I can't believe that I left this comment a year ago. And I can't believe I've been doing this for a year either. Hello, everyone. Just the usual audio latency. So on this program, I can dial up the audio delay just a tad. So I'm going to bump it up to about 200 milliseconds on the audio delay, and hopefully it'll be more in sync with the visual. Yeah, hello everyone. So don't lose motivation. Don't lose motivation. You helped get a 90 on my mobile development course. Great job. Definitely wasn't all me. So Serge, good job. So 300 to 400. I want to bump it up to 300 to see what the delay sounds like. And then perhaps some of you guys can tell me if the delay is okay. It's really difficult to tell, especially when you're streaming, what the delay looks like. Oftentimes I'll go back to the live stream that's recorded on YouTube, and then I'll watch it. And the audio seems okay during the recorded live stream, but you never know what it is when it's live. So let's see what the simulator is kind of showing here. So the loss of motivation and how to deal with it. How many of you guys face this problem with, work, school, life problems, relationship problems, parents, kids? Even simple things like figuring out when to go to sleep. Okay, so 300, 200. So I'm gonna bring it back to 200 because that's more in line with what it was previously. So, schools, SATs, work, applying for jobs, figuring out how to deal with your resume if you haven't cleaned up your resume in a few years. What else is there? Even like figuring out what to eat, what to drink, you know, certain things that are really easy to do if you think about it. But why is it so difficult for us to start, kind of get the ball rolling and, start doing what we need to do? Yeah. So we have this comment from Abdikadir, Abdikadir, Abdallah. Yeah. So this video, it's a mixture of both, um, and I guess I'll touch on programming and the loss of motivation in terms of programming, procrastination, dealing with learning a new programming language or a new programming concept, and sometimes it's just really difficult to start. I find, and for me lately, recording these like YouTube videos for everyone, and I've been doing it for a year now. In the beginning, it was easier, and then it got harder as I tried to ramp up on more videos. And then it got easier after I got used to recording all the videos. And then it got harder again after I tried to produce different type of videos. And then it got easier again as I got used to that as well. And then so now I'm kind of in this this break here where I don't really know sometimes what to produce, especially recording things on video is not my strong suit. So that's lately I've been facing that. But let's see. Uh, we'll all get through it together if we hold our hands and sing Kumbaya. Lots of motivation dealing with it. So the first question is, why do we often feel the lack of will to start working or even progressing with whatever we're doing? I guess in general, progressing through life is what we need to do. We never want to stay in the same spot. So when we have like a new task at hand, why is it so difficult to even start? So for example, if you're going to school and you have these exams or projects you need to complete, sometimes you'll just find yourself procrastinating until the very last minute to even start looking at the essay topic or looking at the exam material. So, yeah, this is a common problem, right? And sometimes I often feel if the professor gave you an assignment, made it due the next day, instead of making it due like in 2 weeks, I think it'll probably be better off for everyone if the assignment was just due immediately. So we don't have to deal with like, the stress of knowing something is due at a later date. It's very difficult. So, like in terms of this YouTube channel and providing all these projects, these tutorials, these topics to talk about, it all just requires so much like things in terms of creativity. And I really find that even like, so I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on like movie trailers and how people produce like really good movies. And there's a ton of people that have to be like super creative and produce things on a daily basis constantly. So they can do it, right? So, why can't we do it? All right, so we have a question. What is the L and A behind you? So if you can look at the back, there's an L right here, and then there's actually a B right here. So that's the LB, and then there's the A right here. And there's a missing T that I haven't purchased yet. And I bought these lights like 3 years ago, so I didn't really even have a name kind of set up for the channel. And who knows, maybe I'll change the name of the channel in in the next year or so. But yeah, it's just like let's build that app. That's what these lights are. Let's see. And then we have some paintings. I actually found a couple of these paintings here near the uh, near the recycling bin when someone else was moving out, and so I just picked it up. You know, not the best paintings in the world, but they'll do for now until maybe I get a new place with bigger space, better lighting, and all that. Okay, so let me just go through some of the comments here. Name was awesome, don't change. Yeah, I feel like what I am learning at university is nothing compared to what I already know. And it brings me demotivation. That's true. What do I do in this case? So, Michael or Michelle, um, the thing about university, and I've talked about this for so many videos, is that you really have to start questioning why a university even exists. And you've probably thought about this for a while too. And it's just like what do you call it? A gauntlet that you have to go through. University is a slog. It's just 4 years of making sure you get like A's, B's, and perhaps C's in your courses. And after you graduate, your GPA, what school you went to, none of this crap matters. Uh, yeah, so let's move on. So, for example, so like one main example that I've been thinking about lately about motivation is I find myself unable to learn a new programming language. For example, think about something like perhaps even JavaScript or Node or PHP or even C Sharp. Like all of these things are something I want to get better at, but I just cannot find um, the will to get better at it, or even to start really. I mean, I know all of these websites that exist that can help me get better at, let's say, C Sharp or Node, but sometimes I just want to like turn on Netflix back there and just watch a TV show, and just let my brain rot away. So I think the solution to all of this, and we all know the solution is to simply start on the project that we need to complete. And that's pretty much the secret to all of this. And the moment I start typing out like the first line of code on whatever language I need to learn, I find myself already having the momentum to kind of complete the entire thing that I want to work on. And usually the project is something that spans a couple of hours. So once you start on that particular thing, you are in much better shape. Like starting is probably 80 to 90% of the entire battle, I think. And yes, you have to develop a routine, and you have to break your old habits and routines in order to somehow be productive. And yeah. So what is the last thing I have on here? So why is it so hard to start something new? That's a question I've been having lately a lot too. So I don't really know. I was watching this video about this lady, talking about entrepreneurship and why we're so afraid to do new things. And she said that the brain is hardwired to fight uncertainty, and basically the way that humans work, I guess, is that we're always trying to protect ourselves, right? And whenever we're dealing with things that are like uncertain and we don't know if it's going to result in a better outcome, the brain just tells us not to do it. So I believe her stance on the whole thing was like, we need to fight this urge in our brain So we have to do something new. The brain automatically says, "Don't do it, don't do it, and don't do it." And if we are able to like uh, consciously fight this urge to sit back and do nothing, that's the only way we can combat this problem. And then some of us have a better ability to do this than others. That's why some of us have more drive compared to others. And, I don't know if that's true. Maybe. Goodbye, feel motivated to leave this. Yep. And last thing I want to kind of stop on this is, sometimes we all need a break. There's that metaphor where if you keep going to, what is it? You keep going to the well, and you keep taking water out of the well, it eventually dries out, and there's nothing left. And you have to wait for the next season, or you have to wait for the rain, you have to wait for the, whatever system that's filling up the well to fill it back up to capacity, so that you can access the water again, or access whatever's in there. So having a break is super helpful. Just make sure you don't have too long of a break. So yeah, that's that. So all of these slides that you guys are seeing currently are coming from a iPhone simulator. And basically I just have this application that, is a UI collection view, and it just slides from one cell to the next cell. One thing that's cool about being a programmer is that when you do one of these live streams, you can build whatever you need to make the live stream flow a little bit better. So I was watching these Periscope streams yesterday night, and I was thinking, wow, some of these guys can use some like visual material to make it a lot better. But yeah, so being able to develop software is a nice advantage. Okay, so let's see. Holy crap, live stream with an iOS engineer, yep. Okay, I want to see what you guys have to say about motivation. I'm definitely trying to find some secrets to life, and try to find some secrets to just getting things done sometimes. So I lose motivation to start the question if I want to take on programming as a career. Once I finally force myself to get into a project, I love it again. And that's true. That's true. I often find the same thing when I start on a project, get back into the code again. I find myself really, really productive for, days and days and weeks. Yeah. At least once in 3 days, I lose some motivation. Yep. I think that's like a cycle that we all have. Every couple of days, we just need the brain to rest a little bit, and then we need to do something else for, I don't know, maybe a day or so, or maybe just a couple of hours, and then you can start ramping up on whatever you need to get done. So here's a good question. Where did you want to be at this point in your life? That's a really good question. I don't know, maybe you guys can answer this question as well. Where did you want to be in this at this point in life? So I'm in my early 30s right now. And I'm not married. I don't have any kids. And way, way back then, when I was, I guess, like 10 or 15, I thought I was going to be married and with kids by like 28 or 29. But that hasn't happened. And as I approached that age, it mattered less and less. So like at 20, I was like, okay, this is going to happen around late 20s, like getting married and having kids. At the age of 25, I just felt like, oh, it doesn't even matter much anymore. I mean, it's not like I have, well, we all have biological clocks, but yeah, after a while, I just stopped thinking about where I needed to be. So what is my computer setup right now and what are my dream configurations. So I think I've gone over this a couple of times. I have a 40-inch 4K monitor that allows me to have like four 1080p screens at the same time, which allows me to do this live stream, allows me to record tutorials, allows me to have multiple browsers up so that I can be like super, super productive. And one thing I noticed early on is that just having multiple screens will help you tremendously. Like, really, just have multiple screens. I know a lot of people like to work on just like a single laptop screen, and I really urge you to consider getting a second screen. Okay. So do you guys know that we have a Facebook group? Might as well plug something while I'm talking here. Let's see. What does this group look like? Okay. Have you heard of iOS Developer Nano Degree from you from Udacity? Yeah, I've heard of it. Um, but so the thing about Udacity or any other online degree program is that when you're trying to get a job at some kind of physical company, most of them have never heard of Udacity or even the Lynda program. I mean, they're probably aware of it, but they don't know what the course curriculum looks like. So it's hard to say whether or not these degrees are helpful. Obviously they will teach you a lot of good stuff. Oh, okay. So let's see. What can I bring up here? Okay. Maybe I can shrink myself down here. Okay. All right. So there's that Facebook group. Let's see. I guess we'll go through some of these posts that need to be approved. Anyone else having issues with comments not showing up on the live stream? So I would encourage people not to post comments like this inside the Facebook group. It's not really meant to. So what happens in a Facebook group is that someone posts a comment, and then everyone in the group will get a notification of it. What will happen is people will either start unsubscribing from the group, or they'll just delete the group entirely. So these comments right here are not that helpful. Sorry, Matt, putting you on the spot here. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. So it says, hey Brian, thanks for accepting my join request. I've been following your channel from day one. Maybe day three. What really sets you apart is that I think I'm having problems reading lately. Maybe I have dyslexia. Anyways, what sets you apart is that you're an actual real world engineer giving extremely useful, beneficial programming lessons. Anywho, I had a quick question. What do you think about the idea of members in this group who have used your teachings to create their own app, posting it here for beta testing review feedback, but only apps which utilize your teachings / library? Other members who have questions about certain features how certain features are implemented could ask them directly. Maybe get a LBTA community going. Just a random thought. Yeah, I really want to hire someone that can manage my social presence a lot better than I can. So the last place I worked at, this place called Touch of Modern, we had this whole team that managed our social identity online. Marketing team posts Instagram photos. They're going to post Facebook posts on what to sell and the latest gadgets that we're having in inventory. So we had a couple of people just full time doing all that work. If I could hire someone that did that for me, I'd be in a much better position. But yeah, maybe I really want to do something with this group here. I just don't really have the time to do it. And it's going to be more about like is more project oriented is what my goals are for the group. Yeah, I don't know what to do with my life. Well, everyone has goals. Uh, so growing up, I thought everyone knew what their goals were in life, or at least what they wanted to aspire to be when they were like mid 20s. But I recently found out that that's not exactly true. Some of us just don't have goals. Some of us don't have that drive or motivation or ambition to do a whole lot with our lives, and that's fine. That's fine if you're fine with it. Uh, I use a free extension called basically blocks websites. I always visit and distract me. So one thing I do want to mention is that one way to deal with motivation and procrastination for me is to kind of delete everything that's distracting on my phone. For example, I've deleted apps. Well, I still have Facebook, which is a problem, and I have Netflix. Okay, let me just name the apps that are really, really distracting for me. So, Facebook is number one biggest distractor and procrastinator enabler. And then I have Netflix, which I don't really use that often on my phone, to be honest. I may have the Apple TV back there. Facebook Messenger, I don't chat anymore. So deleting Facebook Messenger was not a huge thing for me, but just removing any chat programs on your phone. For example, Facebook Messenger, Twitter is something I have. And then there's also Skype, which is something that I don't use that often. And there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, and yeah. Actually, I only have like 4 pages of apps, and most of the apps are like demonstration apps that I've had to put on my phone just to test it out. So I don't have much on my phone. That's what keeps me off of this device. Well, actually, it looks pretty nice. Um, yeah, I know it's difficult to just remove things from your phone because you feel like you're so connected to this device every day. But once you start removing things out of it, you'll have more control over yourself, just in general. Hello from Jordan. Your videos always motivate me. Yeah. The strangest thing is that a lot of YouTube videos motivate me as well. So I watch this guy called John Olson, and he makes one vlog video a day. And then there's a bunch of production work that goes into editing his videos. For example, he grades his videos really well. The coloring is super nice, and he puts together a a collage or a montage of all of his daily activities. And it's just so much work, and I don't know how he does it every day. So watching his videos on YouTube motivates me to produce more videos on YouTube. And I think that's helpful. Sometimes I find myself in this hole where I'm just browsing for more videos, and then a couple of hours go by and nothing's been done. It's a weird dilemma that we face a lot. So okay, Brian, you are an inspiration. All right. Well, thank you, dope people. Hi, Brian. My little brother loves your Kindle course. All right. So for those of you that don't know about the Kindle course, let's see. Let's build that app.com/course. What else is in here? Kindle basic training. Hopefully I don't have anything embarrassing in my cookies. You never know, right? So there's a course. I think it's actually like, let's build that app.com. Let's build that app.com/basic training. This will actually get you the course, get you to the course as well, rather. And it's just $20. You can purchase it if you want I don't know, about 20 videos of me talking in your ear and going through, some of the basics about Swift, classes, optionals, UI table view, UI collection view, footers, cell registration, dequeuing, how to unwrap things using optionals, how to build for loops correctly, what for loops are, and here we go. Here's the problem with live streaming. Uh, the amount of data that I'm putting out there makes my connection really, really suck. So that's kind of it. Yeah. So yeah, the channel is mostly focused on like programming, but every now and then I feel like uh, we all face different types of issues, and motivation in terms of programming I find to be really different, because programming is so difficult sometimes, and when you have to pick up some new language, especially like let's say you have to pick up a new framework, and what I had to deal with is, well, what do I need this framework for? Is it for some kind of server? Is it for database management? Is it for building out UI in a way that makes it easier to maintain the code later on? So how do I get myself to learn this new topic? And when someone's paying you to do this, it's easier. When you have a team to work with, it's also a lot easier. Sometimes you find yourself just alone in a project, which makes it difficult. So, anyhow, let's see. New viewer of this channel, welcome, Stuart B. Subbed only earlier this week. Well, congratulations for finding this channel, and hopefully you stick around. Sometimes I come to YouTube to learn from your channel, but end up watching the odd one out and TED Talk videos. Yeah, me too. Wow, it's really starting to rain out here. Westfield 90. Once I realized this, just a sheer amount of stuff that I needed to learn is what made me fall off the bandwagon. But I've always self-motivated me and always just had to pull myself out of it. Yeah. Let's go build that app. So whenever you guys have an app idea, you just have to go and build it. Motivation needed. Do you think machine learning is important for a software engineer? Have you tried integrating any machine learning algorithms in any iOS development project? No, I have not. I think there's something called like TensorFlow that's really hot lately that I want to dip my toes into. Would you consider doing a developer discussion online via Skype or Hangouts? I've thought about it. I just have difficulty organizing and coordinating these kind of things. Hello from Greece. Well, hello from San Francisco. How do you deal with red tape at work? Red tape is a motivation killer for me. So I'm not exactly sure what red tape is. Is this the restriction of things that you can talk about, like secret projects? I think that's what red tape means. I don't know. That doesn't really sound like it makes any sense, but I don't know. Honestly, if any novice watched your tutorials, then start to believe iOS is hard to learn and very tough. The thing with this channel, I guess maybe I'll talk about this now. In the end, it's folks like you and others that keep at it that makes the biggest difference. Yeah. So I guess I'll talk about this comment up here for now. Let me try to reread this to see if I understand it. Honestly, if any novice watch your tutorials, then they start to believe iOS is hard to learn and very tough. I don't agree with this very much. I can understand the point of view that this comment is kind of coming from. And the thing about this is, if anyone is watching any video that's teaching something new, and if they find it difficult to learn something from these type of videos, these tutorials, they're going to find any video difficult to learn from. And they're going to find any type of excuse that they have to not do something new. This is not a problem with this channel or any other video. This is just a personality characteristic that certain people have when they face new challenges. Instead of, facing it directly, they'll decide to run from it. So this is, what is it called? The fight or flight response. So whether you fight the new challenge or whether you escape from it is the idea. So I didn't understand this concept until like really later on in life. And I think I just realized that I have a ton of motivation and drive, and I just love getting things done. And I just realized that not a lot of people are like this. Like think about it. Even graduating from school is just 4 or 5 years worth of work. That's takes a lot of motivation to get all of that done. And then, yeah, so society helps you, like, push you along the way to get a college degree. And then once you're out of college, it's pretty much all up to you to figure out what needs to be done. Watch the stream to get motivation to do homework assignment, which is due 8 a.m. By the way, what do you know about model checking? Particularly Promella language for model checking. I have no idea what Promella or model checking is really. Yes. Hello from India. Hello, Rohan, Lokesh, Sharma. Love your videos, and they have made me a better developer already. And you're the reason I don't use storyboards anymore and layout angers. Oh boy, they are God's gift. So the other day I got this comment about storyboards again. I guess I'll stop talking about storyboards. But, I guess everyone knows by now that I am not a storyboard developer. I used to be one. They're not all that bad compared to other visual editors. Storyboards are extremely complicated and sophisticated, and the amount of things that you can do with a storyboard is like, it's still surprising that you can get most of an app built using a storyboard. But if you work for big corporations and you try to maintain your code, it's kind of difficult using a storyboard. Got a question about sample grabber. What do you think about it, and can you explain to me what it is? I have no idea what a sample grabber is. What are motivations for immigrant programmers right now? Specifically in the U.S., immigrants. So my parents are immigrants from Vietnam. I was born and raised in California, in Sacramento, the capital of California. The major difference between first generation immigrant children, so when I say first generation, I mean the first generation that was born from the immigrant family. So I consider myself first generation. That's how I define it. You get a lot of pressure from your parents because of their situation and where they came from, and the amount of opportunity that they are providing for you in this new country. For example, the United States compared to Vietnam, you pretty much have the world available to you. And it's completely different in terms of living in Vietnam, what you have access to. So the amount of pressure that you have just based on what's available is like sky high, right? You can do anything you want, but at the same time, you can also not do much. So, I had a lot of friends in this similar situation with immigrant parents, and a majority of them just became average people. So just average, like, you work at a government job, perhaps even work at some kind of store. Like, I'm not saying this is bad, but this is just average work. So just with any other group, you'll have the average people that come out of that group. That's what I find. What is the easiest language from which we can make an app? Please help me out. Well, if you watch the channel, you can build things with Swift. I work with 20-year programmers, but they have had no motivation to learn anything new or keep up with technology. I envy them since I would love to have their knowledge and expand on it. You'll realize that as you get older, it's harder and harder to learn new things. And it's not because there's a lack of motivation. It's just that sometimes you just don't care anymore. You find like the constant chasing of new things is not that important in life. Can you change the loss of motivation to try to help? You promised a live coding session last week, but it seems you lost motivation for it. Yeah. Do you stop working with teams, or do you, in general, stop working in general? And if so, why? Yeah, I decided to quit my full-time job, and many reasons that led to it. I guess the biggest of which is to do something new. So I lost motivation at that job because there were no new projects, and I just felt like, why am I not programming new things anymore? So now that I have the opportunity to work for myself, I can program anything I want, which, in general has been a very, very good thing. And I've been super productive producing this channel, producing the videos, building up the website, building up this brand or whatever you want to call it. And yes, I mean, for the most part, I have not. I'm satisfied with the past year and all that I've been able to get done. So sometimes it's good to reflect on things that you've accomplished to see, the progress. For me, and this is in general, when it comes to motivation, is all about the goal or vision. Yeah. Goal or vision. Yeah. Okay. Realm database. Maybe I'll make a tutorial on it. My Asians. Yeah. Would be awesome if you could go over invalidating collection view layout sometime when needed. There is a video on the Twitter series about invalidating layout when you rotate the application screen, and then it just rearranges everything to fit inside of the viewport of the device. Let me see if I get this basic training page up. Nope, not looking like. So basically, what he's talking about is, so in the simulator right here, when I rotate the device, it will actually rotate these cells to fit in this new view. And when the device is kind of, the size is changed like that, this still needs to be fixed. But basically, the layout is invalidated, allowing for the device to draw within the new bounds. That's kind of how that works. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to see what everyone thinks about motivation and procrastination, discipline, good habits, routines. My thoughts on motivation is that it does not always matter. Sometimes you just need the discipline to do it. Yeah, I fully agree with this statement. 100%. Do you have any support from friends, family, or girlfriend? When I lose motivation, I always get that kick from my girlfriend who makes me put everything in perspective. I guess I'm a bit of a loner, and I don't really go to anyone much. So family, girlfriends, friends. To me, I think all of that external stuff gets in the way a lot. I just work better for myself, and being by myself is something that I've gotten used to a lot over the past couple of years. Marvel or DC, I guess neither. Not a big comic book movie fan. What is the right way from to learn from your videos? Should I code along or just take it all in and build an entire project? From Dave Abhishek. So no, I am not married. So what is the right way to learn from these videos? Well, one thing I'll say about the YouTube videos on this particular channel is that the main goal maybe is what I want to call it, is not to provide hand-holding tutorials because from what I've seen in the past, hand-holding doesn't work really well because especially in development or just anything in general, if you handhold someone for the entire process, they don't know how to figure out things on their own. So one major topic that we need to teach in school nowadays is the ability or learn how to learn is what I like to call it often. So learning how to learn is a major step in development, especially in programming. You need to learn how to read documentation, look at Stack Overflow, try out coding on your own to see what the autocompleter tells you, uh, debug statements, print statements, breakpoints. All this stuff is something that people need to know how to do on their own. So the point of these videos or the style of these videos is to kind of give you an insight or to let you see what a kind of professional will do in certain situations, and that should enable you to kind of follow the same practices. So again, this is not a hand-holding channel, which a lot of YouTube channels will be like, or that's their style and the orientation of their videos kind of follow that style. I think that's the incorrect style in teaching. And that's what schools do a lot. You know, they do too much hand-holding, which doesn't work. That's why schools are, you know, bad. Would you recommend learning some data mining and engineering? Data mining is super helpful. Data analysis, learning how to read big data, statistics, that's also super helpful. Wow, I'm not answering every question yet. Sometimes taking a break is a good thing. We definitely understand it. Can't imagine how much work you put into the channel. Really do appreciate it. Yeah, you know, the channel does take quite a bit of work. But, you know, yeah. Let's see what this person says. I actually wanted to do YouTube. I have some ideas, but don't know how to shoot as I don't have any equipment or mobile that good can record well. I don't know how to edit. What should I do? So obviously look up on google.com how to do one thing at a time. Like in this day and age, in 2017, if you don't know how to Google something, you're in big trouble. And that's, you know, you can't avoid that. You can't avoid people telling you how to Google things. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. That's true. So sometimes I don't know if I really love recording these videos. Indian American, yeah. Also, watch your videos the second they appear, not because I need them, but because I know how you write and explain your choices video by video. Cool. Good luck with motivation and getting married. Keep it up. What do you think about React Native for building iOS apps? I think it's good. How am I? I'm all right. Anchors are the best thing happen to in your life. How long does it take to learn iOS development? I don't know, maybe 5, 10 years. Depends on how good you want to be at it. Freelancer, no, I do not own my own company. Can we use JavaScript to build? Yep, React Native. Hey, Aliken? I'm good, how are you? Or I guess he's talking to this Brian. Red tape would be anything that prevents the progression of development, revision, tracking, change management, company policies, and so on. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think I faced that in my last company. Basically, the app was the results that were coming from the application were, obviously successful. And when you have something success on your hands, it's difficult to move away from that model and develop different features that change the underlying fundamentals of the app. So yeah, we just sat on it for like a year, and then I quit because there was no new project that needed to be worked on. How to learn hacking? I don't really know. How long does it take to learn iOS development? 5 seconds, yes. Some would say lifetime, maybe 10. Okay, where am I at? Jeez, there's a lot of comments here. Wow, I think I lost my spot. Wow, a lot of comments, huh? Okay, 116 people in the chat. Let's see how much of this I can get through. Still learning about, or after about 3 to 4 years, yeah. So I've been programming for 10 years. I still don't think I'm really good at it. And nor do I care to be really good at programming. It's not exactly my goal in life. Well, Swift is smoother, Objective-C time consuming. Objective-C will become a lot more obsolete than it is nowadays. So Swift is obviously the big name in town. See if I can blow myself up super, super wide. How's that look like? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out this new lens right here. Surprisingly, this lens is cheaper than this other lens that I have. So now that I'm not using this lens right here, see how big this lens is? The lens that's currently on the camera is like only this size. And it gets this blur a lot better. But this thing is like $700. That thing's only $200. The lens. Yeah, why am I talking about camera? I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are not interested in cameras. Maybe I should start a camera channel. Left storyboards too and found it much more productive. Yep, me too. I honestly can't believe people you are spilling out your heart talking about motivation, but people asking about Xcode, seriously, sometimes dealing with humanity is difficult. Yep. Yeah, it's what you kind of expect after doing YouTube for a while. It's something that here's the thing about YouTube that I found is difficult if you don't have sort of a thick skin. People that care too much about their own image will find it hard to succeed on YouTube, because the secret to YouTube is actually super, super simple. You have to produce videos at least 4 to 5 times a week. If you don't have that type of frequency with your video releases, it's difficult to be successful. And I guess I measure success in terms of subscribers, views, and engagement. If you're not able to just not care and just throw whatever you have onto the internet, if you can't do that, it's hard to be successful. So, I've learned not to care so much about things that happen on YouTube, because you can't really worry too much about these things after a while. If you can't find a solution on Stack Overflow, where do you go next? Well, most things in life can be solved with Stack Overflow, which is what I find. And then the problems that you're trying to solve that aren't being asked on Stack Overflow, I don't know, that's pretty rare. It's quite rare, but it does happen from time to time. Whenever I encounter that situation, I kind of just give up and work on something else. Or I dig through the documentation, and then I work on it for a couple of days. If I can't figure it out, then that's it. Should I follow Solid in Swift? when I'm building an app. So these questions are always pretty funny to me. Like, should I do this and should I do that? My answer is like, if you don't know whether or not you should follow a specific pattern, then you probably shouldn't follow it, because that's the whole point of the pattern. You should know why the pattern is useful. Otherwise, you're not going to be using that pattern correctly. So it's kind of what is it? The irony in these questions makes me chuckle a little bit. I'd be happy if you can do some VR. Well, yeah, I can't. I don't know VR. For those of you asking, what is the easiest language to make an app? You don't know what you want, but this channel is all about Swift. Go and figure out what you want. Yeah, have you noticed that 99% of the videos on this channel has to do with Swift development and iOS development? I guess people don't really realize this. You'll get a lot of people coming into this channel that are aware of it based on like some of these videos about non-programming topics. That's kind of why some of the folks here today are not fully aware of what this channel is about. You can't do a whole lot about that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, what do you guys think about the direction of the channel? Should we create server-side tutorials? Should we create Android tutorials and include everything on this like single channel? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I need to take a break from this Swift channel and just make this Android channel that I've been promising for like months now that I haven't even started. I've been thinking about doing an Android channel as well. The problem with Android is that it's just like Objective-C and Swift. However, Kotlin, which is Swift, hasn't picked up enough steam and enough momentum to be the de facto language for Android development. And I really want to just shoot videos in Kotlin, but I know a lot of people want these Java videos instead. So Java is kind of like Objective-C, and I'm thinking, do I really want to produce Objective-C videos for Android? I don't really know. It's not as easy of a decision to make compared to Objective-C and Swift. And Kotlin has been out for about a year and a half, or like 2 to 3 years now. I want to make these Kotlin videos. Hopefully I'll get around to doing it. Hello from Israel. Thank you for great tutorials. Well, thank you for watching the videos on the channel. A lot of playlists and tutorials on how to do everything from laying out Twitter, Facebook, Firebase, chat applications, YouTube, the YouTube app. So many different types of content that you can learn from. Can we build complex apps using JavaScript for iOS or Android? Yes, using something called React Native built from Facebook, you can build out pretty complicated and sophisticated apps. Let me see. You need to get past it. I promise you. When you get to resolve your issues, you will feel a lot of satisfaction. Yeah, I gotta think about that one. So let me see from Samuel. I've seen you hanging out around the channel for quite a bit lately. What things are difficult in iOS programming for me? What are the difficult challenges for iOS programming? I guess doing a lot of like asynchronous work and trying to handle multi-threading is difficult, perhaps. Dealing with capturing video is pretty complicated. Playing audio when you're on in the foreground and also on the background can be difficult. But for the most part, like UI layout, everything is handled with collection view, which is super, super simple by now. So, those are the things. Do you make any video Xcode instrument memory leaks? No, I have not. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of comments in the channel today. I feel like it's going to take forever to just get through all this. I was watching this Periscope video, like I was talking about earlier, and yesterday there was this lady on her Periscope channel, and she was live streaming, and she only had like 4 people on the live stream, so she was able to answer like my question, and like I rarely go on these live streams, so having her interact with me live was certainly a fun experience, and hopefully I can provide some of that entertainment for you guys in this channel on this live stream. Yeah, something about live stream and even like chat whores or whatever you want to call it. What's the new term for these like porn websites where you have a lady and then you just chat with the lady, you tell her to like take off her clothes and she'll do it. It seems to be a pretty big industry nowadays. And there's a certain thing about the live aspect of it that makes it super, super like engaging and entertaining. And just a simple live stream like this where you're just chatting with people that are watching and having the guy on camera like respond to your questions, I think is like super entertaining. I guess that's why these I think they're called cam whores. Cam whores. It's the generic term for these ladies of the night. I guess you don't have to do that at night. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just ignore the iOS related questions for today. JavaScript sucks. That's not totally true. Would you consider coming to work with me in South Africa? My company has so many dev opportunities. I can promise you'll never be bored. This sounds like one of those advertisements from this African prince that has some kind of inheritance with a large amount of money that wants you to like give him your address. You're not a loner, we're here. Yes, good to know you guys are here. From design to Xcode, even then the point is someone has to write all of the functionality of each API used in JavaScript. Yes, yes, yes. Can we build apps like Facebook, Twitter using native? I think so. I want to put out a React Native tutorial video series, but I haven't really laid it out or haven't have the complete idea fleshed out in my head. Which I'll get to. Okay. How many times you work daily? So I work on this channel pretty much every day of the week. And that's the thing about having a YouTube channel or just having a blog or a website. You have to work full time. And so I kind of realized this, I don't know, not a phenomenon, but not everyone wants to work 7 days a week. I like working every day. I like being productive. I like producing new things because, some of us have more this creativity and this drive than other people. And I like satisfying this creativity or this type of mindset to get things done and have people, share what you know with other people. So I enjoy doing things on a daily basis. So I don't consider it work, which a lot of people will consider it work, but it's because it's building up things that I want to build up. I don't see it as like strenuous or stressful work. I find it the opposite. It actually relieves stress for me. Okay. Let's see. So I'm just picking these questions at random at this point. So any question that I I don't even know how my eyes is doing this, but basically I'm skimming the questions to see things that I kind of want to answer. I took a dev position with a startup. The problem is that they are very ambitious, don't respect the time I take to create an app programmatically alone. It's quite stressful. Have you any advice? So creating things programmatically versus the storyboard, it's all about time, and time to market is super important if you're in a startup. You got to make sure you can produce things within like a week or a month. And if you can't do that programmatically or using a storyboard, they should probably let you go. So with startups, they need developers that can produce work really, really quickly. And that's the thing. You have to know the correct tools that allow you to be as efficient as possible, whether or not it's a storyboard or programmatically. What you'll find is perhaps storyboard is faster in the beginning, but in the long run, the programmatic approach will allow you to be more flexible and allow your code to be easier to expand and also to maintain. So, a lot of trade-offs that you have to consider when you're working on a startup application versus a big corporation, and you'll learn as you go. My work is very tiring and a lot of pressure because the company aims more time and not the way the code is done, and that leaves me quite down in my routine. Yes, you do have to get used to it. Any plans on Android development videos? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, most likely when I have this Android channel up and running with, perhaps a series of videos, I'll announce it in one of these live streams or on a separate video, just so everyone knows where that channel is and what it's called. Well, that depends on person to person. Ultimately, I think taking a break for a few days is all I need. I feel guilty about the break since I feel I've wasted time, but in the end, it does motivate me to come back to it. Yeah, taking a break is super helpful sometimes. So where's that slide? Sometimes we all need a break. Yes, we do. Why is my site not working? Is that working? Yeah, seems like my website's not working. Anyways, I usually avoid promising stuff that cannot be done in the time given. Yep, good idea. Okay, refactoring code. Yeah, I really love to refactor my code, and showing people how to refactor is pretty helpful too. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Wow. Okay, there's still 122 people in the chat. 121 now. Okay, do you feel you learn more iOS stuff from making these tutorials? Most of the time, not really. Although the latest video on retain cycles is something that I did learn a lot from. And like I mentioned in the Facebook group and the other chats, is that there is a huge mistake in that retain cycle video, which I'm going to release a new video on Monday to correct that mistake. So basically, there is actually no retain cycle in that video. So a lot of you guys that have watched it and think you understand retain cycles, you got to go back and watch the video that's coming tomorrow, because there's going to be an explanation as to where the true retain cycle needs to occur for this example to work out. Yeah. I want to buy your Kindle course. Is it suitable for programmer 1 month in and 1 month out? The Kindle course is like super, it's kind of hand-holdy is what I want to call it. So it's like, I'll explain to you like things one step at a time. So it's meant to ease into programming. So it's a lot easier than these other video series. So I think anyone that is interested in learning iOS programming will find that course like just super helpful. What software do I use to record? I use this program called Monosnap. Super easy to just build things. All the video Brian has are really good for beginners and 1 to 2 years in. Yep. Charlie Nguyen. I remember your channel had less than 5,000 subscribers. Look at where you are now, almost 35,000. So proud of you, man. You are doing something right. Keep staying motivated, I guess is the question or the comment here. Yeah, remember when the channel was like 5 subscribers? I guess so at the very beginning, right? You start from 0 subscribers, and then you get your first subscriber that watches your videos consistently, and then you have your watch time, and you see that some guy watched your video for like 20 minutes, another guy spent 5 minutes on that video, and then you have more people joining, right? And then you have 100 subscribers that are just watching your videos as you release them. And then you feel, oh wow, people are actually interested in what you have to say. That's interesting. So you produce more videos, and then more of these just strangers find your channel, and then you build up to 1,000 followers, and then you start to think, maybe I can put out more videos about different things, and then you produce more content, and then you get 2,000 followers and 5,000 followers. And then by the time you reach 10,000, you realize, there's actually a big audience that they're interested in exactly how you kind of demonstrate how you work, demonstrate what you know, your knowledge, and that's pretty motivating. And then after a while, you start to feel this huge pressure, or at least I did, and a lot of YouTubers feel this way too. There's that the burnout factor that you face whenever you have this pressure of satisfying everyone at the same time, and that's impossible to do. Most of the people on the channel, the subscribers, I would say a lot of people, like most of the people that watch the videos are programmers and want to learn about programming, and then you have this huge segment that are not interested in programming. So it's hard to cater to everyone, I guess is my point. Yeah, it's really hard to cater and make sure everyone is satisfied. Sometimes you don't know if you love recording your videos. Yes, I did say that earlier. I guess let me rephrase that comment. So recording videos is like, I was thinking about this last night. So recording videos, to me, what it feels like really is it reminds me about my high school speech class a lot. So every like 2 weeks, you have to go up in front of the stage and just give your speech for like 2 minutes to 3 minutes. And that means you have to prepare your speech, prepare the topic that you're going to talk about, and just go up there and have either a cue card or memorize everything that you want to say for 2 to 3 minutes. And it's not that I had stage fright, but remembering everything that you need to talk about and making it sound like coherent, just something that I didn't really enjoy doing a whole lot. So recording videos gives me the same feeling of having to remember a bunch of things to say. And it basically boils down to whether or not you are a performer and if you like kind of speaking to an audience. And that's not exactly what I enjoy doing most. And sometimes, like the thing I really love about producing the YouTube videos is that I can talk about programming in super technical terms, and most of you guys will understand what I'm talking about or have sort of an idea of what I'm trying to explain. And that aspect of making these YouTube videos is what drives me. I think being able to reach an audience that likes that same type of thing, that's the motivation that I have to make these videos. Yeah. So, oh, server side. Oh wow. Yeah, there's a lot of comments there. Huh? Okay, looks like the comments have died down. AV Foundation. Jeez. Oh Lord. All right. Oh look, we have a storyboard question. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Are you on DevRent? If not, should you try it once? I'm not aware of this place or this website called DevRent. Sounds interesting. Yeah. A lot of people have some iOS questions, even though today is not really about iOS, which is funny. What is a good point to have a rest from the screen? I find myself hooked, tinkering around for hours. I find myself just watching YouTube videos for hours, which is super non-productive. Um, yeah, let's see. Life to learn, because keep changing, upgrade, that will crush your app. It's good to keep developer job. Okay, it would be great if you could do a video on VVM. Sure, probably. Okay, thoughts on a standing desk. So thoughts on a standing desk. Um, so I currently have a standing desk, so I'm standing right now. I can move around, right? And I find that if I lower the standing desk, which I can, I totally just sit there and don't do very much, which decreases productivity for me. The standing desk really helps me keep things in kind of perspective in terms of doing work. So I highly recommend trying out a standing desk. It will change the way you work. Okay, let's answer this storyboard question. Don't you think it is a waste of time to not use storyboard? Writing the UI view from scratch takes a lot of time. Well, so the thing about iOS programming is it's iOS programming. Programming is what programmers do 8 hours a day, 10, 12 hours a day. If you work at Facebook, you have to code program for 8 to 10 hours a day. So if you don't like to program, then I don't know what to say. Obviously, you're going to hate writing a view in code. If you don't like programming, then you're not going to like programming. So can't really say much for people that are kind of in that mindset. What's next for you? How long do you see yourself in this field? I don't know really. We'll see when I start to get really tired of producing YouTube videos, which maybe might happen tomorrow, might happen next week. The thing about YouTube that makes me, I don't want to say depressed, but makes me the least happy is that sometimes you get comments on YouTube which they're not like super distasteful, or they're not super negative, but sometimes comments will get to you, and sometimes you think to yourself, why are you doing this? Like, why are you giving so much of yourself on YouTube? And then you have people that are maybe not disrespectful, but sometimes it does bother you. Yeah, so it's the constraints; those take a lot of time. I would say that storyboard constraints take a huge amount of time. So I used to teach this boot camp in San Francisco, and pretty much 100% of the, or I guess 90% of the students were super confused about the storyboard constraints. I had to walk through how it worked to lay out like complex layouts pretty much all the time. So it's not easier building constraints to the storyboard when you have more than like 2 views in there. It gets pretty strange after a while. The struggle of being a programmer, I guess when you understand how storyboards work, then everything seems to make sense a lot better, or a lot more. The struggle of being a programmer is you are never good enough and know enough. The amount of information we need to know and the amount of time is ridiculous, which is also a demotivation. So you can see this as a motivation and also something that demotivates you. For me, not knowing that there's so much programming languages out there, I really enjoy the fact that there's so much more for me to learn, but I do agree. Sometimes it feels daunting and it's exhausting at times. But you got to see things from the glass's half full perspective. And if you can do that, all your troubles will go away, I promise. Working out in the gym also helps me get motivation back. Don't know how, but it works somehow. Yeah. So every Sunday I go to the gym for about 4 hours to play a lot of basketball. And so basketball is another thing that is an activity I love. So doing that gets me really tired, but it allows me to focus on something else completely different, which is helpful. I find myself just kind of I don't know, thinking about YouTube and producing these videos way too much. And it after a certain point, it's like not healthy anymore. Most of the things in life can be solved with Stack Overflow. Agreed? Yes, hello Red Channel. Thank you for creating this channel. It's inspiring me to try and write apps again. Cool. Very cool. Do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not have a girlfriend. Help Brian a bit with the chat. First time in live mode. Good stuff, Mihai. Okay, AV Foundation. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing with the YouTube channel that I found is a pattern that I have. During the month of November and December, I produced a total of about, I don't know, like 10 videos, which is a lot less compared to lately. I think on the channel lately, I've been able to produce 5 videos a week, including the live stream, which seems like it's productive, right? But when I am only producing 5 videos for an entire month, I'm actually doing a lot of other things like building up the website, putting out a real course, learning some other language, and I'm actually more productive when I'm not producing all of these YouTube videos. So the thing about pushing out like the free content on YouTube actually is counterproductive to the other things I want to get done. So yeah, last question. You say goals in life is not programming. What is my goal in life? So the goal in life for me is to become financially independent and to be able to go wherever I want at any time I want. And to also kind of spend it with my parents a little bit more and spend it with family a little bit more. The idea of having to work instead of being with the people that you want to be with is extremely sad outlook in life that I don't want to face that problem. Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. It does. Server-side tutorial would be great, yeah. what's the camera, or is it a DSLR? So this is a Lumix Panasonic GH4 mirrorless camera. Currently, it's just recording like 1080p. But the lens on it is this 20 millimeter f1.7 lens. So the thing about the lens is that, like, so I was having this discussion with someone about cameras on this other YouTube video, and the debate was whether or not you can start recording YouTube videos just using your cell phone right here. And so I recommend anyone that wants to start a YouTube channel to just buy a mount and then mount your camera on it so that you're able to record yourself. And then do that for about 30 to 40 videos, and then you'll understand the lighting, the audio recording, and also the framing of your videos. So those are the three important things about making good YouTube videos. And once you understand how all of that works, lighting, recording, and framing, then you should go out and buy an actual camera, because you'll understand like aperture, camera lenses, and what type of lens that you want. And you also need to understand how to edit your videos too. So for example, something you cannot do with an iPhone is you cannot manually adjust the focus of the camera. So let's say I'm right here, right, and I'm just talking to you. If I want to change the focus so that I blur out even more of the background, I can just change this to be super close like that. And then now I can be a lot closer, and you'll see more of me, and the background you can see is even more blown out. So the thing about this is that I have to be super close to the camera, and I'd be a little bit lower as well. And then I have this external recorder that makes sure the video is coming in on kind of in focus. So just having the ability to do this makes it so that your phone is actually not the greatest tool to work with in terms of recording video. Server side, absolutely yes, and a new channel maybe. Let's see. tvOS and watchOS, so I will probably never develop any of these types of videos just because the demand for tvOS tutorials is just so low that I don't think anyone will watch any of these videos. We really need Android tutorials because Android is a big market. For me, I like to go to iOS first, but Android is needed if you want your apps or games to be popular. Certainly true, certainly true. Server side with Firebase. I want to put out this video on the limitations of Firebase that I've been running into lately. And Firebase is not all that customizable. That's the huge problem with it. Server side, Realm, great. I should include some Android tutorials and some apps starting from scratch to Google Play, perhaps in the future. Include the Android stuff in this channel. You probably will get a ton more downloads, plus you can put it on its own separate playlist. Yeah, I don't know if this is true. Like, I can put it on a separate playlist, but people will start getting spammed. Like, the Swift developers will get spammed by these Android tutorials, which, I don't know. Not sure if I want to start doing that. Am I in focus? No, I'm not in focus. So that's a problem. So I have to be this close to be in focus. Yeah, this close. How many vloggers do you guys watch? That's an interesting question that I have. And how many of you guys actually know about cameras? That's something else I want to know. How do you stream with a Mac? So I guess this is going to turn into a video camera chat for now. So I broadcast through OBS on my MacBook Pro 15-inch from 2013. All I do is I hook up my camera via this HDMI cable here, and then it hooks up to this little device called a Ultra Studio Mini recorder, and then this recorder is hooked up via this lightning cable, and that hooks up into my Mac via the lightning port. And then I can open up this piece of software called OBS, and that allows the stream to just feed directly into one of these windows here. And that's kind of how all of this works. Yeah. Wait, what are we talking about here? All right, we have Jessica Liu here. Just joined the channel. I don't know if there is already someone suggested, how about a Uber-like app? There is no similar app yet in your course series. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I hope we can see soon you holding the YouTube 100,000 subscriber play button reward. So for those of you that don't know, when you get 100K subscribers, you get this like diamond play button that Google or YouTube sends to, I guess, your home address. And then they congratulate you on getting your 100K subscriber. And then they do the same thing for 1 million subscribers as well. I think they send a gold button. I don't think it's really gold. It's just painted gold. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the blur, it's called, is it called depth of field? It's bokeh, depth of field, either term. So allowing the focus to kind of split yourself or separate yourself from the foreground and what's in the background is what makes for this type of effect. And the lens on here is only $200, which is amazing. Usually it takes like, I don't know, an $800 lens to do the blurring that you want. Yeah. Okay. Looks like everyone is still here. Is there still 100 people in this live stream? What is it about live stream that people kind of enjoy? We have Tom from Tom Xue. Xue. Is that how you pronounce your last name? Accept your Facebook request, please. Well, let's see who's in the Facebook group. All right. So let's see. Oh, here's another thing about Facebook. For those of you guys that are sending me Facebook friend requests, I barely use Facebook for friends or social stuff. So I haven't added new friends in like years. So don't expect accepting a friend request on Facebook because I just don't use Facebook at all. I like the Facebook group feature, but again, motivation, procrastination. Facebook is a very good tool for enabling procrastination. That's why I don't use it a whole lot. You should live stream to fall asleep. Your voice makes me sleepy, but it's a good thing. Yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. I watch a lot of people's YouTube channel to go to sleep as well. The fact you're responding live, of course. Yeah, Parse shut down. So let's see. What is interesting about this channel is that I don't really care what type of information I expose to the world. So let's see what I can do here. Who is interested in Google Analytics for the metrics for the website? So let's see. I guess it's this guy right here. So let's put that above. So if you look at the metrics for the website, let's see. Let's maybe start from February. So what you'll see is that we have a lot of views. We have a lot of page views. We have, this is just the website of letsbuildthatapp.com. We have about 1,000 users peaking around this time, February 15th, and then it's dropped off because one of my videos went viral about how much money engineers get paid or how much money I earned as a developer, and now it's kind of dropped down below to about 500 users a day on a good day. And then the page views have also kind of gone back to the average number of page views. So the website currently gets about, 75,000 page views a month, which is a pretty good start for like a year into such a niche field. So, yeah. Let me bring myself back onto the screen here. Yeah, let me see if I can bring the zoom focus back to something more easy to work with here. Wow, this focusing is like really difficult. Anyways. So let's see how many of you guys are trying to join the Facebook group here. Okay, so we have 20 plus. Good Lord. So many of you guys. So many of you guys here. All right, so we have Tom Xue from the chat. And then we have, let's see, maybe I'll shrink myself down again. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay. Checking my phone here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, more of you guys are joining the Facebook group. Facebook seems to be a really good platform for people that want to join and kind of talk about things, I guess. All right, so starting down below, we have Sadvik Arya, we have Sun Globetrotter, we have Steve Chang. It's always very mysterious when you have no profile picture and you also have 0 groups. So I guess I'll add you in a little bit later. Nicolo. So having a profile picture will get you approved. Werner Roth from Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. We will approve of you. All right, we have Mohammed, iOS developer at Cordoba in Egypt. Huh, okay. It's kind of fun to see all the people that are from around the world. Horvath, Roland, hello, Rolensky, Alphonse. We have Jason. We have Musin. We have Thorsten Klusman. We have Patrick. I think I've seen Patrick for in the channel for quite a bit of time now. Let's get Patrick in. We have Mohammed Laith. We have Bruce Nell. I've seen Bruce Nell for a long time as well. We have Ross McCauley. Ralph Etienne. All right, we have Josh Epling. We have Zan Draxler. Varun Petty. Cesar Dekel. Brandon Hunter Pro, software engineer at AT&T, lives in Los Angeles and is also from California. Santa Monica, which is about 8 hours away from San Francisco. We have Irfan Saeed. Fernando Marins, a junior iOS developer at Ghost Ship Tech and code reviewer at Udacity. From Brazil. Awesome. All right, we have Nguyen Van Tu from Vietnam, I believe. Coder at Lapvin or Laptrin iOS. Okay. Approve. Okay. Seems like a lot of you guys are joining right now. Yavuz. See. Maybe I'll bring this into view a little bit more. Okay. Angel Ramirez. We have you, Vivek. Let's see. Islam Alamov. Probably not pronouncing these names correctly, obviously. So let's see how many of you guys are sending me Facebook friend requests. So again, I don't accept any friend requests because it's something I don't really like to do in Facebook. I don't even update my profile anymore. Okay, we have Sokan Rithi Tiv. Hopefully that's how you pronounce that. We have Kareem James from Miami, Florida. Morat Burgul from Turkey, Istanbul. Turkish people are super, super nice. I used to work with a Turkish guy. Haven't really talked with him for a while, but super nice fella. We have, let's see, no profile picture, always very suspicious. We have Dennis Chin. How many of you guys are like, so there's 12. Okay, we have 12 member requests. Okay, hopefully I can get to all these requests. Tom, we have Ian, we have Ponka, Jason Wang. Okay, so again, I just ignore all of these friend requests. So Samuel. Yes. Oh boy. Okay, I guess I can deal with this Facebook approval process on my own instead of wasting valuable time on this live stream. System software engineer intern at SAP. Cool. Interesting to figure out where you guys are from. CEO at I don't need to work. My dad's ATM is enough for me. That's kind of funny. All right, enough Facebook Stats. Okay, I guess my website isn't working on this live stream. Oh wow. Okay. Any more questions about anything before we sign out today? Oh my god, the stream's already lasted for an hour and 45 minutes. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's bring this guy back up. Oh boy. Oh god. How many of you guys have like things to do today? Yeah. Oh boy. All right, let's read Adrian's comment. Can someone be so successful if they're doing everything alone? I mean, programmer does back end, front end, all alone. Well, it really depends on how you kind of define success. I honestly find it very satisfying to know how to do everything. So that's just me. Any thoughts on Parse's backend? Well, I don't really understand why people are still using Parse. Focus on threading, like multi-threading, deadlock, etc. I haven't really ran into so many deadlock issues in iOS. It's interesting to talk about it though. Firebase or Parse, which do you prefer? Yeah, again, why are people still using Parse? I mean, it's open source. I guess it's something that you can launch on your own. I actually have a Raspberry Pi that I turned into a video player for my TV a while back. So you just plug in the HDMI port. You can play videos via the network video. I guess if you have a network drive that you have videos and movies on, you can use it to play your Raspberry Pi videos on, which is kind of interesting. Okay. All right. We have 88 people watching right now. So obviously people are kind of signing out and getting tired of today's live stream, as I am also running out of things to talk about for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to sign out as well. Hopefully everyone has a good rest of their Sunday. Let's see, what's a good ending for today's video? Well, since the title is to kind of deal with motivation, I just want to say that whenever you're running into your own issues with getting things done, whether it be like how to stop procrastinating, how to focus, how to get like, just progress in whatever you're working on, just start. That's the secret. Just start doing it, and then you'll find yourself that much closer to getting things done. Easy to say, but hard to do. So for those of you guys that are secret gurus in this topic that can shine some light, shine some light on this topic as well, please make sure to tune in next time and let me know. So goodbye guys, have a good rest of your day.